And I think that this project will be implemented in future, as we have done all projects with oil and gas. This is our future plans. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Bayraktar?
Look, we had a climate summit in Konya. I'm not sure whether you follow that or not, but my personal perception in Turkey, I'm not so very environmentalist, because sometimes when you speak against this sustainability or environmental sustainability issue, often people treat you like you are against environmental issues, you are not taking it environmentally friendly. First of all, for the record, I'm not that kind of person, so you have to take it from my word. But the reason that I'm saying this, I'm trying to be more rational and more realist, and because at the end of the day, to have an environmental sustainability, you have to have like economic sustainability. From that point of view, that's why I said we need to have a smart energy transition, to have a smooth energy transition. And it's not going to be overnight. You cannot phase out coal immediately or in a very short period of time. You have to have it in your system. Per capita consumption of Turkey in terms of electricity, it's around like a 4,000 kilowatt hour. In Europe, it's 6,500 kilowatt hour. In US, it's a 14,000 kilowatt hour. When you compare this, and in Africa, in Southeast Asia, 700 million people doesn't have access to electricity. So we need to have a just energy transition. And of course, the fear and the concern I have here that in case if you don't have that kind of aspect, you might see a huge political setbacks. Now we are facing this because everybody is turning not against environmental concerns, but there's an obvious need for energy access, affordable access, reliable access to energy. And one last point that I would like to make here, that we need to find again right balance to find and optimize solutions for everybody, for all citizens in Turkey and the globe.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation and for your thought. I have a question for the Minister of Azerbaijan. After the frozen of the Nord Stream, after the crisis in Ukraine, after the period that we are for sure going in the future, how you will change your strategy in terms of the gas supply for Europe and other countries? What is your short, medium, and long-term new strategy, if you will have a new strategy?
Thank you very much for the question. In fact, we have had already for the long time plan to extend the Southern Gas Corridor, as it has already been here widely discussed, because of the several factors. First of all, we have enormous gas resources in Azerbaijan, offshore gas resources. So it is 2.6 trillion proven gas reserves. It would, enough for us and for our partners, for Turkey and in Europe, to provide with the natural gas for the next 100 years. We have infrastructure in place, and we have now the increased interest from the consuming countries. And if we bring all of them under the same roof and sit and discuss, so we will come out with the decision to extend further the Southern Gas Corridor. As it has already been here mentioned, the TANAP, Trans-Anatolian Pipeline, has a capacity till 31 BCM. TAP has till 20 BCM. So I am not talking about the long-term, the perspectives and projects. It can be done in a mid-term, the perspective. But we have to also understand that the gas is the commodity, natural gas is the commodity that cannot be extracted and delivered overnight. So we cannot act in a way that today there is a enhanced need for natural gas, tomorrow we add some more volumes to there. We can do it, and we do it for our neighboring countries in our vicinity, and we did it, for example, with Turkey when the Turkish-Iranian pipeline was technically disrupted. We did it, but we cannot provide for the big volumes for Europe. We have to have good planning for that. We are ready for that, and we have already established a dialogue with the European Union and the other interested parties, the consuming countries, and of course with our brotherly country, Turkey, and we will work on it.
Thank you. And I think following up here, there's an important point on market design. The gas the infrastructure is there, the gas is in the ground, but the European Union decided no more long-term contracts, it should all be spot market, but that doesn't work with the gas industry. You have to be able, you have to plan and to buy the gas ahead of time. And if we look at the 10 points that the EU, the Commission has published about how to change and to encourage its energy security, it actually kept no long-term contracts as part of the points. But it's a very fundamental issue that Europe's really going to need to change if it wants to provide for its energy security. So I think, believe it or not, an hour has gone by. Obviously, we have a lot of important issues. I'd like to give each of our panelists a final moment of, Matt, can you what should we be doing?
Sure. Well, I just would like to comment really briefly on the European Union, building on what you said, and to wrap up my thoughts. So, for years, we in Washington were pushing our allies in the EU to focus more on diversifying their supplies of energy, and really of natural gas. And in the beginning, they didn't want to hear it. And I remember going to see a deputy minister of economy in Germany who very politely showed me the door and said, "Stay out of our business." That's changed. And what I heard President of the European Commission von der Leyen saying yesterday at the meeting in Versailles was really encouraging. So she seems to be thinking about all these things we're talking about. She said that we need to diversify European sources of supply, which has been our mantra. We need more LNG. We need to get rid of Russian gas in the mix in the next 5 years. And we need to do renewables. But it's got to be affordable. It has got to provide, it's got to respond to supply and demand signals in the market. So I hope that that's the approach the EU continues to follow, along with what they've invested in over the course of the last decade, which is all sorts of new infrastructure to interconnect national gas grids, which again will allow natural gas to respond to market forces of supply and demand. If the market is liquid, it'll work well. But there are market inefficiencies and failures that lead to some of these disruptions we see now. Thank you.
And even on the issue of market design, the spot markets actually gave more power to the swing producer.
Yes,
that it's so. Minister Shahbazov, your final comments.
Thank you. We have been already run out of time. That's why I will try to formulate in a very, very compact way. So what we need very well thought out energy policies, long-term energy policies, and we need really to keep the issues of energy security, of course, along with other components of the energy issues, at the focus of the international, at our international agenda and the focus of all the states. It is important. We should not underestimate the role of the one kind of energy resources and give the priority to other. We really need the smart, as it has already been here said, smart energy transition and energy mix. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Shahbazov. Dr. Bayraktar.
Thank you, Brenda. Just, I would like to echo what Matt said about the Europe strategy. Look, I mean, we have a working example in TANAP and TAP, and what we have seen for this project, a great leadership and commitment from both leaders, President Aliyev and President Erdogan, and also all the countries like Georgia, Greece, Albania, and Italy. They took this initiative, and also European Commission and US put a lot of effort and commitment to this project, support this project, and it made it happen. So we can follow up the same steps for the other resources in and around the Turkey to bring this hydrocarbon resources to Turkey and through Turkey to European market. I think it's an essential thing. And last point, I hope in this panel we haven't drawn a very gloomy picture about the energy transition. We can be optimistic. Instead, of course, I mean, being a hopeless romantic, I prefer to being like a more rational optimist. And the optimistic part that keep us, more positive for the future is I fully believe in technology. I fully believe in science, innovation, and invention. And I believe that this will make some technological breakthroughs, some innovation and inventions will make it possible for our world will be a better future in terms of energy transition, in terms of climate change, and fighting with global warming. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have three countries represented here: United States, Turkey, Republic of Azerbaijan, that really understood that energy security is part of national security and it has to be planned. We heard the ideas of balance between the different aspects of energy security, and important that, yes, it's good to have idealism and goals, but if you're too idealistic, if you're a hopeless romantic, instead of more renewables, you end up with more coal. So if you could please join me in thanking this panel, and it was great to have you here with us today.